Peace all, RaReKaBaMystics here, or RaReKaBaMystics, and upright root and aspire higher. We are here to do the monthly segment of monthly energy report, the general collective message for the month of May, and the title is an active integrative May. Okay, yeah, so we have this month being quite busy, and it's all about cycles and integration, like understanding our role in life and why we are. Okay, with this whole pandemic at play right now, we have plenty of time to take time with ourselves to understand who ourselves are and why we are and who we be and why we be it. Okay, for the good, the bad, and indifferent, to work it. Yes, so we can thrive and not just survive. Right? Okay. I'm going to give you a quick look at my calendar here. I'm in a little boo-boo on my weekly PowRa right now, but anyways, I'm going to check that. So this month, we work with the ancient and the modern, and that's the Coptic year and the Gregorian year. Okay, am I recording? Yes. Right. So we're in the Coptic year of 2012 and the Gregorian year 2020. Okay, and the ancient formulation of the calendar, May would have been the third month, but the modern, it's the fifth month, right? So we add the 3 plus 5 equals to 8, and then the 5 plus 4 equals 9, and then 8 and then 9 equals 17, which whittles down to an 8 vibration. So this month is an 8 vibration, 8 being all about the cycles. Okay, our understanding, where we've come from, so we can reach where we want to be, where we should be, where we are destined to be, right? And acquiring our abundance in life by learning our lessons and earning our blessings. All right. And so we have the first day of the week starting on a Venus day. Okay, Venus is all about, oh shit, what was that? Oh, one of my cars just flew downstairs. Hold on. A few minutes passed and Triumph came out. And Triumph was it was an undertone message for this weekly PowRa, which began on the 4th. Well, I started on the 4th until the 10th. So it's a very interesting card. I didn't even realize when I put the cards down because they were on the ledge on top of a weight holder, but that stayed, and then it flew and it got my attention. And an interesting neighbor that I have interesting dynamic with, right, was the one that was standing right there when it dropped. So all signs and synchronicities are all abound, right?
Yeah. Hold on.
Go ahead.
No, I was trying to get it.
No, it was sat right there. It didn't move an inch. Thank you very much. 7 vibrations. Triumph. The message for this week with that was to keep moving past your idiosyncrasies and realizing your higher self, and always finding something else just flying. Finding your way around in life by always moving with your higher self in spite of all the things that might try to put you down, especially your own shadow self. Okay, right, so we were saying this month is an 8 vibration, and we started the day on Venus Day, which is all about understanding your past to move best in your future, to move, and that's the same as understanding your yin to move best in the yang, or understanding your spirit to move best in your physical. Right? And to move best in your physical is by moving with your higher self, so you can stay on purpose and learn your lessons and earn your blessings, right? And that first day of the week has an undertone of 10, and this is where I made a boo-boo on the recording, because I made the point about the 10 and the 8 and 9 being 10, of course 17, but with that, this is the undertone of the month. Okay, this is the 8 vibration overall, but it's also the 10 vibration. And the 8 and the 10 is signifying to me that understanding your cycles, okay, understanding your light and your dark self, your high vibrational self and your low vibrating self, and integrating the two is the best way forward henceforth. Okay, because we know we're in the gateway opening of the Aquarius age, and integrating self, understanding yourself, being your higher self is the way forward. Okay, respecting the differences within everything else, and still working with self and all else. Okay, and we have the month ending. I wanted to make a point of the month begins on a Venus day, which is that feminine principle, and what was it? The moon is in Leo, which is that fire sign. And then we have the month ending on a masculine principle, with the moon ending. So with the moon ending, with the moon in an earth sign. I believe it's Virgo. Let me just flip through. Yes, ending on a Virgo. So that fire and earth elements are prevalent this month. Okay, as well as understanding the yin and the yang, which is the need for integration. And it's a busy month because there's a lot going on, and that's what we call it an active, integrative May. Okay, we have 3 meteor showers this month, and the first, which is the Acrid meteor shower, is gonna be a bit blocked by the moon shine, but you can still watch it, especially before sunrise and even after, but that means you have to take time and concentrate on what is out there so you can see it. Okay, because you can see it through even with the bright sky, but it's just harder to. That's why it's always advised to move away from it, watch it in the night, and move away from city lights and stuff like that. But like I always say, even if you don't see a shooting star, you realize that it's happening, and you can always make a wish on it. Okay. And with this meteor shower, we have my guides told me that the message is to wish for spiritual discernment on your perspectives, like what do you see and how do you move with your thinking and your feeling, and how you see the undertone of life, the spirit side of life. Let we make the right judgments. Okay, thanks, Divine. Okay, I just got a message about that. Interesting stuff. Yes, good, thanks. Okay, so we also have Mercury at Sapura conjunction on the 4th, which is Mercury and Sol conjuncting, where the Sun is in between Earth and Mercury, and they're both in Aries, Sol and Mercury. So again, all about the self and how you relating to yourself. Is it high vibration, low vibration? And check it outside of your physical self, first your spiritual self. Okay, we have the full moon in the Libra to Scorpio cusp on the 7th, and in this weekly PowRa message, we understand that it's all about us balancing again that yin and that yang, the dark and the light, the spirit and the matter. And then we have the Eta Lyrid meteor shower, similarly to the message that we got for the Lyrids meteor shower. It's in a different star constellation part. It's in a different part of the constellation, and it's that 7th, because Eta is an astronomical term for the 7th brightest star in the constellation, and the 7th vibration is all about you checking yourself spiritually, seeing your perfections and imperfections, reflecting on that. How can you work? How can you rise above it? And with the Lyrids at Meteor Shower Journey is all about you activating your light body. And with this one is how can we sustain that? How can we keep being of our light self? Because there's every day there's changes in the air, how are you going to sustain and maintain your highest self, your light body, with all the density that's around, with all the propaganda and the plagiarism that is abound? Okay. And we have Mercury and Mars both moving out of the constellation that they're in on the 10th. Mercury is moving into Taurus and Mars is moving into Aquarius. Mercury moving into Taurus is us, communicating to ourselves and others and thinking about our security in life. What's beautiful, our nature. And Mars moving into Aquarius is action in how you move with people and how you what you need, how you move with people, and what you need to do with people, the social, the group. But also, on the flip side of the Aquarius social light self, it's also the need to detach, and the I think it's a very good thing to always detach from the group. Never to negate the group. Doesn't mean you don't love the group, doesn't mean you can't be with the group, but it has to be always self first. And that's why I mentioned that self-isolation is such a good thing for us right now, for the collective, because most of us light workers have been doing that. I keep saying it's a very much needed tool to help us grow and evolve our soul, our parts of soul. Take your time, Filiosh. Okay, we have Saturn in retrograde on the 11th. And Saturn is in Capricorn right now. And between the 12th and the 13th, we say we give or take 3 to 10 days, we feel the shift of Sol and all the other planets moving into different constellations. We have Sol entering Taurus. We have Venus retrograde on the 13th also. Venus is in Taurus, retrograding in Taurus. And I think she's staying in Taurus retrograde, is it? Until the end of the month, yes. Excuse me. And then we have Jupiter retrograding on the 14th as well. And Jupiter is in Sagittarius. And it's staying in Sagittarius throughout its retrograde phase, okay? This month. Okay, what else we got? So we have Luna conjuncting a lot. Luna usually does, but she's extra busy this month, I feel. Conjuncting Regulus on the 2nd, Speaker on the 5th, Antares on the 8th, Pluto, Jupiter and Saturn on the 12th, okay, and Mars on the 15th, and Neptune on the 16th, Uranus on the 20th, and Venus on the 21st, as well as Venus and Mercury on the 24th, and the M44 Beehive cluster constellation in Cancer on the 27th, and again in Regulus on the 29th. Okay. We have the dark lunar or dark moon on the 22nd in Taurus. Oh, on the 21st, that's not lunar conjunction, that's Mercury and Venus conjuncting in Taurus, excuse me. On the 21st is not lunar conjuncting Venus in Taurus, it's Mercury and Venus conjuncting in Taurus. And on the 24th, we have the Camelopardalis meteor shower. And I was doing some research on that meteor shower, and I found it very interesting that it's... Ahmad, closing the store, please. It's pushing back on the table here. Close it in. You have to push yourself in there. Please. Okay, so when I was doing this research on this meteor shower, I got to know that this word Camelopardalis... Okay, let me say again. Oh, damn. Let me see. Okay, the camelopardalid meteor shower. It's camelopardalid is supposed to. Amar, can you stop that, please? Stop it. I was in the middle of recording. Behave. It's a Greek term, or ancient Greek term for giraffe. And if you look at the word, it looks like it says camel leopard. And it got its name because the ancient Greeks thought that the giraffe looked like a camel because of its long neck, and the leopard because of its spots. Okay, so I charge you to look at the totem or the spirit animal of the camel, the giraffe, and the leopard. Okay. What else we've got going on this month? Numerologically, the prominent numbers is 3, 5, 8, and 10. The 3 because of the ancient term is the third month. The 5 because of the modern term is a fifth month, and the 5 again because of 2012, and the accumulation numbers 8 and 9 being 17, which is the 8, and then the 10 because the 10 it comes up each time as its own energy, like undertone and overtone. Okay, like the 1st, and then on the 10th, and then on the 19th. Okay, and actually on the 19th we have a it's actually 55, so that's a master number, so we don't whittle it down. But if you was going to put it down, because I know some systems do put all the numbers down anyway, that will also be a 10. And the 55 is representing like the necessity for change, the necessity for moving away from the status quo. It's not no longer, could I, would I, but it's necessary for you to. And that's on the 19th, to whatever it is that you need to change about yourself. Okay, so you can be your holistic self. Okay, so again, Sol is in Aries until the 13th, which moves into Taurus, and then Luna begins the month in Leo and then ends in Virgo. Okay, and we have the fire and earth element going on rife this month also, because we have Aries season until Taurus season comes in, so that's the air and earth element there again. We have Mercury in Aries until the 10th, and then it moves into Taurus, and then on 29th it moves into Gemini. We have Venus in Taurus, Mars in Capricorn until the 10th, and then moves into Aquarius, Jupiter retrograde in Sagittarius, Saturn retrograde in Capricorn, Uranus in Aries, Neptune in Aquarius, and Pluto retrograde in Sagittarius. We have Chiron in Pisces, and North Node in Gemini and South Node in Sagittarius. Okay. Actually, don't quote me on North Node and South Node, because I believe it's about to move, but I'm not entirely sure exactly when. I don't know if it's going to be within the month or not. So in the weekly powers, I'll make note of that to mention to you all. Okay. And so for the oracle messages that we have, the overall energy, we have temptation, number 15, which is like the devil energy. And we had that last week, actually, devil energy, and this calling it temptation reminds me of all the reasons that they try to keep you, and it's, you know who they are, try to keep you down with the propaganda to tell you that this and this is happening and make you feel like you can't do what you're supposed to do. That's a form of temptation, to tempt your lower self to keep low vibrating, you know. And we have from past, present, and future. We have self-worth, laughter, and commitment. And it's also representing the advice in regards to temptation, and then, and then how you can move in the current state that you are in right now, and your higher self advice. Okay, so in regards to temptation, like, remember your self-worth. Okay, the affirmation here is, I am confident and worthwhile. And it reads, self-worth bestows a sense of confidence, expectation of success, and ability to love. Okay, decide on clear boundaries and limits and firmly decline to let others step over them or manipulate you. You will earn respect when you value yourself. You become open and friendly, slow to take offense, and quick to forgive. Remind yourself that you are likable and lovable. Do not let others press your buttons. Stand tall and confident. With true self-worth, you radiate a golden aura which enfolds others and makes them feel good too. Ask your angels to step into your aura and guide you. And this reminds me of that golden Aquarius age as well. When you feel good about yourself, when you're not judging yourself and you're not condemning others or comparing yourself to others, like you emit a gold-like state, okay? And gold is representative of soul, okay? And soul is the source of all things, situations, places, and everything, and people, you know? So get on your highest self, on your highest role, and you are gold, and you emit gold, and it will have a trickle effect on us all. And I always say, like, if you one is good and everybody else around you is not good, you will soon be like everybody else. So you have to elevate yourself so you can inspire others to do greater as well, you know. And self-worth is hold on, it's getting hot now. Hold on, I just had to put the jumper on to go downstairs. Not that I always do, because I get naked sometimes. Hi. And that 15 energy is that Venus vibration as well, you know. The things that you love, the things that you deem beautiful, you know, work on it from your highest heights, and let that be an inspiration for others to do the same. And your self-confidence helps others. You know, it may irritate some, but it also will trigger some kind of need for change for them too. Okay. What else did I mention? The golden era. And love and expect the success within yourself. Allow the comparing and contrasting, that kind of that halts us, you know. And remind yourself, like, you don't wait for nobody else to say that you are great and you are grand. Remind yourself, take accountability of your skill set, of, you know, who you are, where you've come from, all that good stuff. And also take accountability for your not so good stuff, the things that you need to work on, and get on it. Don't allow yourself to be tempted into the fear state. Don't allow yourself to be pulled into the propaganda. Okay, don't allow anybody to put limitations on you. Like, if you need to go outside, please go outside. It's very important. Like, this whole, you know, we keep talking about COVID being a man-made thing. It is a man-made thing, but it's real. They've put it together through other viruses that they've had about. You know, we know that it's been patterned. We know that COVID has been around for a time, but they've got a new strain now that they've mixed together with all kinds of other it's a cocktail of bullshit, you know. I don't know. I'm not gonna say for sure. It's not SARS and all these things, but they has some kind of a strain of AIDS and all kinds of viruses they put together. Okay. And it is out there, so it's important for you to build your immune system. Again, it's important for you to be in soul, because, you know, the heat kills all viruses. Okay, and soul, remember, it's like, you know, those people that feel like, oh, I'm going to get too dark, or I have to put a whole bunch of suntan and stuff like that. Like, the reason why we burn under the sun is because of the things that we put in our body to begin with. That's why it's important when you're building up your immune system, you're eating healthily. You're eating clean. You're not eating just anything and everything. Okay, that's part of self-love. Not just self-loving yourself by indulging in all kinds of things. It's realizing what it is that you're indulging in and making sure that it's for your highest good. Right? Okay. And in the current state, we have laughter. And the affirmation is, I see the humor in everything. Laughter is a wonderful healer. It shakes out fear and leaves you feeling happier, clearer, and more relaxed. Remember that angels fly because they take themselves lightly. So make light of the difficulties and see the funny side of situations. Yes. Laugh at yourself and with others. When you relax and laugh, your angels drop in new suggestions and ideas which can transform difficulty into delight. Laughter is the sunshine which dissolves the darkness. So be merry, joyous, fun filled. Oh my God, I didn't even check this card, but that is so prevalent right now, and it's in the position of the current state. Okay, and this is definitely what we need to. We need to laugh it out, laugh it through. Like I said, laughing is joy, and it brings light-hearted energy into your sphere. If you fear, that brings all the non-conducive stuff that you're fearing closer to you. It makes you more dense. And the devil energy is all about everything physical. If you see something, everything physical, thinking that everything is just physical, and we know better now that everything starts first from spiritual, energetic point, and then it becomes physical from that point. Like fear would be a energetic, vibrational point, and then the sickness will then become the sickness attaching to you, or you coming into it, is the physical manifestation. It's always been important to wash your hands. It's always been important to not bring in your stuff from outside or inside your house. Cleansing and clearing your spaces, internally first and externally thereafter, and being light-hearted. Not being heavy in your heart, not with anger and jealousy and all of these things. We have to lighten up and definitely bringing more joy into your world, into your realm. Finding the funny things, and sometimes laughing at your idiosyncrasies, your stuff. Is necessary, and checking yourself is paramount. Okay. And then how to move forward. Your higher self in advice that we have here: commitment with the affirmation beings. I am committed to my vision. Yes. Oh wow, I really didn't check. I just pulled the cards and left them there. Angel wisdom reminds you that when you aim for a vision without doubt or deviation, it must succeed. Your guidance is to persevere towards your vision. Let every thought, word, and action be directed towards your desired outcome. Nothing is more powerful than focused energy, and the angels will see the pure light of your commitment, whether it is to relationships, a piece of work, a journey, or anything else in your life. Remember to ask them to help and know when you dedicate. Remember to ask them for help, and know when you dedicate your intentions to the highest good, they will support you. Okay. Yeah, commit yourself to growth. Commit yourself to the change that is now here for we to grow, to evolve. Make those concerted efforts in life, whatever you want to, bring about, especially when it's of your highest good. You will always be guided towards how to best go about that or gaining it. Sometimes we'll be wanting things that's not really for our highest good, and that's why sometimes there's these delays. That's why there's these delays, and sometimes it's because of the way we're going about to get it. It could be rightfully for you, but it's the way you're going about it that may bring about the halts. Commit yourself to change, and to changing yourself first. And hey, I know sometimes it takes a minute, and sometimes it takes you really push it, but it can be done. It will be done as long as you stay on course, which is part of the weekly message as well that we had this week, which is right on time. Okay. And then for relationships, how relationship with ourselves and our world, we have two cards that popped out from the Vortex deck by Abraham, Esther, and Jerry Hicks. We have everything is always working out for me, 55, and why do I want the relationships I want, 43. And 55, everything is always working out for me. Again, it's that 10 vibration, but also the necessity for change. Okay, and it reads: nothing ever goes wrong, because every piece of contrast, no matter how wrong it seems to be, is always helping you to clarify what it is you do want. And that is the thing that we want you to remember most of all. The contrast, no matter how it looks in any moment, is contributing mightily to your expression, to your expansion. Yes, the things that you call things going wrong in your life. Experience are actually only the distance between the things that are so right and your current perspective about them. Yeah, that's what we say. And the good, the bad, the indifferent, it all serves a purpose for soul growth. Okay? That's one of the things that we need to necessarily change. We need to make a necessity to change our perspective. That's what the Eta Aquarius message that I got was about, to make sure that we are discerning correctly the spiritual entities. And then we have 43. Why do I want the relationship I want? We have think about what you want in relationship and why you want it. Look for those around you who are experiencing good relationships and feel appreciation for them. Make lists of the positive aspects of those good feeling relationships you have spent time with. In fact, one of the fastest ways to make your way to a wonderful relationship is to find any subject that consistently feels good. Even if it has nothing to do with relationships, and focus on that. Yes, that laughter, the finding joy in everything. Self-worth, self-confidence, committing yourself to your projects, to your highest self, and at 43 is that 7 vibration. Is all about taking time to reflect on your spirit, on your imperfectly perfect self. Reflecting in it again doesn't mean wallow and pity, but it means to help you realize what needs to change and how you can go about changing it. Right, underneath the deck for the Angel of Light messages, we have light, and the affirmation is I am light, and it's light illuminates darkness and gloom, bringing hope and aspirations. Ask the angels to fill you with more light, for it contains spiritual information and knowledge. There are keys to the universe and brings love and peace, as well as unlocking the wisdom within you. As your light becomes stronger and clearer, you will find clarity and purpose. You irradiate brightly and become a beacon, reminding others of divine help available. Angel wisdom suggests that you ask the angels to ignite and strengthen the divine flame within you. Light is soul, the sun's biggest attribute to our lives. So that's more the reason why I always mention, get those sun download codes. It's imperative for our growth, for our reattunement, realignment. Okay? So we can understand our self-worth, so we can see the lighter side of things and realize our purpose, what we need to commit to. And with the major arcana message, we have disruption, which is 16. It's another 7 vibration. So a lot of need for reflection. Remember that 7 is what dropped out or flew outside of the balcony earlier, and that's triumph for the Cancer energy. And disruption actually is the Tower. The necessity to change shit up, to be and to rise up. And it's also that Pluto energy, which is Pluto is one of the first planets that went to retrograde in March and April, and this year. And other than Mercury, we had a little Mercury thing earlier, but within the vortex that I call the retrograde vortex, where a lot of planets go into retrograde at the same time, Pluto was the kickoff. And Pluto, and disruption is the Tower, which also represents the Pluto energy. And the Pluto energy is things that deep-seated things that really need to change within us, so we can fulfill our higher self. Because there's some things that we don't want to face, some things that we fear, some things that we want to control, that really need to change, so we can be more light, so we can be more in the now, more present, and not allow the devil antics to take us away. And it being in Sagittarius is that, the whatever constricts us from allowing ourselves to expand. Take time to reflect on what that is. And with the relationship messages from the Higgs Foundation, we have, what's this? The thoughts I think determine the relationship I attract. Number 44, perfect. Not only does the power of your thought determine which people make their way into your life, but it determines how they behave once they get there. You are the thinking, vibrating attractor of your experience, and the thoughts you think determine everything about the life that you live. As you turn your attention towards the positive aspects of your personalities and behaviors of others with whom you share your planet, you will train your points of attraction in the direction of only what you desire. Okay, it's always important to note that not everything is you attracting it to you. Some of it is in a sense in a higher vibration, because you picked your life. Okay, before you incarnated, you picked your life, and you picked the kind of lesson that you picked, the lessons that you need to learn, but you didn't pick how it's going to pan out. Okay, so it's all about how you react to things, whether it's self-induced or outside of you induced. It's all about how you react to it, so how you can move away from it, how you can grow past it. Okay, self, taking time to check who you are, why you are, and what and how you want to become your higher self. How you're going to become your higher self, and what you need to do to become your higher self. Okay, and the best way is always to integrate self, your yin and your yang, your light and your dark. Check the shit that you know is not conducive to you. It's like, strive to cut it out. And it's not just a matter of cutting it out, it's understanding where it's rooted from, because that's how you can really be more bliss filled. Remember, like, now is the time for us to really vibrate higher. Naturally, collectively, we on that mode. Yes. I was saying that now is a perfect time for us to realign ourselves. So, if you came in life with all kind of hardships and stuff, like, that doesn't mean you should not stick with that, because some people are born into lives where their family has shown them a certain way, and they know in their core of their heart it's not the way. You have to break away from those constraints. Don't allow other people to stop you. That's including family and your ties with friends and all of these things. Now is the time. Okay. Mama entrepreneur duties, what can I say? And I always have to mention this gladly. Sometimes they give me a pause and it's needed. Sometimes it's part of my lesson to pause, to cool, to calm, whatever is necessary. Okay, everything is everything. And yes, I was mentioning something about, sometimes we're in relationships, family dynamics. Our family are part of our soul group, and last week's message was prevalent about that our soul groups, as everything in life, is for our rise. And it might seem like it's for our demise, but it only becomes our demise depending on how we react to it, how we move with it. If we just follow the things that we know is not conducive, or if we just allow the non-conducive stuff to get us and keep us down, that make part of our lessons. And some of us come up with all kinds of heartache and trauma and all of these things that make you feel like, oh, why? But there's synchronistic events always at play. And remember, as always, everything is to help us rise, help us grow the soul. We are here in school on earth to graduate, and we graduate by not allowing ourselves to think that everything is about earth, to realize that everything starts beyond earth. Full joy this month. Again, if you're going to be busy about anything, be busy about yourself. What is that you need to change? Where do you want to go forward? And if you, commit yourself to your higher self, you will get there in the most bliss-filled way. Okay? There's always going to be lessons. Don't look at them as obstacles. Look at them as I won't say hurdles. The hurdles any better than obstacles, but something that's going to give you a little exercise, to jump over and move on and thrive, not just survive. Again, how we do that is by always striving to be our higher self, by integrating our light and our dark, realizing that our dark was for lessons, and we can be light by receive our blessings by being light. It takes time for you to reflect and realize who you are, why you are, and who you can be. I have a blissful one all. Peace.